All right, let's talk about the Washington Commanders, who had an amazing season, one of the better seasons in Commanders history. Well, I guess definitely the best season in Commanders history, one of the best seasons in Washington football history, and they've won 3 Super Bowls. Unfortunately, this did not end the way that Commanders fans were hoping, but still, let's get into it. Let's talk about Jayden Daniels, who I still thought played well in this game. Yeah, let's just jump into it. So let's start off with this really interesting first drive where you see that, the Commanders, they like to avoid these situations, really, these 3rd down and 6s. They're good at them, don't get me wrong. It's not like they avoid them because they're scared, but just they have a good running game. They want to be able to kind of chip away, not have these obvious passing situations where you kind of get rid of the threat of the run. But we saw a good amount of them early on. This is a 3rd down and 6, and the guy they're going to look to on a couple of these is Terry McLaurin. He's the one who you see the route on the screen where they're looking towards. Watch as you're going to see. This is a really well-ran route. Gets enough separation, and I believe it was Quinyon Mitchell who was on him, able to make that play work and get the first down right there. Wasn't even the best throw from Daniels. Is a touch lower than maybe you'd like, but still a good enough throw and well-timed to get the completion. They pick up the first down there. Later on, they found a 3rd down and 6. Again, just quickly later on, it's going to be zone coverage that the Eagles are going to try this time. They tried zone a couple times in these situations, saying this is what they do. This is what Vic Fangio likes to do. Cover 2 zone is probably his favorite coverage, that or quarters coverage. He'll play cover 3 as well, but definitely likes to put guys further deep. This concept is one that can beat it. You have 2 receivers running routes that are going to be pushing players further deep. You then have a player who's going to start off blocking, then run out, kind of be into flat, kind of like a check down situation. But on a 3rd down and 6, you could get 6 yards here. In fact, right when this play begins, this works out great. He's immediately open. So when you're watching the broadcast and he's the only guy you can really see down the field, we're all like, hey, just throw it in the flat. You have him open. Of course, Daniels is trying to look down the field further like his read is supposed to. So it's going to take him a little bit longer to get there. Watch, you see, he ultimately finds it, and then he makes a bit of a low throw again, but a good job by JKS to get back up and pick up the first down there as well. So that play was very good, and able to continue to move the ball. Again, you later saw this one, which is a 4th down and 5 situation. It's going to be zone coverage once again. Zach Ertz is going to be the guy who's running a route closer towards the sideline. The idea is the deep route pushes players further deep. You can create a little window there. As you see, Daniels takes the snap. This works really. The linebacker for the Eagles there probably should have read that one a little bit better. That's Zach Bond, the All-Pro. Probably should have gotten out a little bit quicker, but still, good job by Ertz to get there quick enough before the All-Pro can notice, and good throw from Daniels to throw it there before it can happen. Just, good stuff by both of them. So then they say, okay, let's go on a 4th down. Let's get back to man coverage. That's what they're trying to do here. 4th down and 2. Again, the Commander's going to continue to go for it. You see right here, Daniels is going to take the snap. He looks around. Again, nothing is really open, so this is really what you wanted if you're an Eagles fan, right? Let's play a different coverage. This one works. And honestly, the Commanders even had some concepts that could beat man. It's well covered by Philadelphia. But here's the thing, is Jayden Daniels doesn't need to throw to get first downs. As you see, he's going to rush for it, and he does pick up the first down. Really good job by Daniels there. Ultimately, they decided to kick the field goal on a 4th and 3. Kind of feels like if it's working, just kick the points. It almost felt like it was almost like as a gambler, you don't want to just keep pressing your luck. But hey, if it's a smart bet, it's a smart bet. I don't know. But we then saw some inconsistency. So like this play, for example, what's going to happen here is it's a man coverage concept on a 3rd down and 6 right here. So again, another one of these obvious passing situations. Watch as Daniels is going to take the snap. Again, nothing's really open, and he's going to fire. And first off, this is triple coverage right here. I don't know what he's doing. Like, both players who are covering over the middle of the field, both safeties are getting over to cover this route. So it's already not a smart route. Because of that, I think McLaurin tries to flatten it out a bit, and Daniels didn't realize that, so he's still pushing down the field. So on top of throwing into triple coverage, also he's not fully on the same page with his receiver he's throwing to. This one could have been intercepted. That's hey, it worked out, right? But still, that's a play that could have gone very differently. So, yeah. And by worked out, obviously, it didn't work out, but it could have been worse, I guess is what I would say. But he did rebound, and, they got a missed field goal. They were able to have this situation where you have man coverage, you have a couple receivers running routes to try and clear up Terry McLaurin, who still is in a one-on-one matchup. But you see how with those kind of clear out routes, it just gives a little bit of an edge for McLaurin. Nothing much, nothing major. It's also still a really good route from McLaurin to make this work. But because of that, you have Daniels, firing this one at the perfect time. And this is just going to be Terry McLaurin doing Terry McLaurin-like stuff. First, you see he makes the grab and makes, it was actually a different player who was ready to make the tackle. He makes him miss. You didn't have a safety coming in, but again, you got to make sure you take smart angles when you're going up against great receivers. This is not a great angle by Cooper DeJean. And watch, as you see, Darius Slay, who was actually covering him initially, he nearly comes back and makes the play, but it is ultimately a touchdown. Now, the Commanders decide to go for 2 and don't get it, but still, a big play there by Jayden Daniels, for sure. Ultimately, things got very bad towards the end of the half, but that was, at the time, definitely a good play. Of course, in the second half, they had their opportunities. I'll say this, even here, it's a 12-point game at this point. This was really kind of where they needed to score, I would say. You kind of felt like they had to make this a shootout if they were going to win. But I thought this was just kind of, really, I don't want to say like the biggest play of the game or anything, but this is a really big play that kind of hurt things for the Commanders. You see Jordan Davis has a one-on-one matchup, a guy who's usually very good, I would say. I think I always like him when he's on the field. The concern has been how well does he pass rush? But as you see on this one, very well. Not only does he beat the guard clean, but he's also able to, again, he moves so well, even at his size, he's able to chase down Jayden Daniels. Daniels tries to run away. And again, that was a 2nd down and 8. Now it's 3rd and very long. They don't score. They give up a touchdown on the next possession. And then it was just, if you're down 12, if you score a touchdown, it's very much a game at that point. Instead, they found them really just in a hole there was no way they were going to get out of. So yeah, that's kind of, again, there was a lot of other plays, but this was, it felt like the last, I shouldn't say the last moment they had. Because you had this part as well where, okay, they're down, but they would end up scoring again. It's a 3rd down and 1 situation. You have they've had a really nice drive to get to this point. And it's just going to be an option play for Jayden Daniels right here. Watch as you see he takes the snap, starts to move towards the top of the screen. And honestly, I don't know if this was by design an option. Because honestly, if he flipped it, they probably still get the 1st down. But he kind of looks towards his left and says, well, I can just run this way. Again, I'm not in the huddle. Maybe this was by design from the jump. But as you see, he does step in, and he is going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. So again, was not a horrible performance here in this game. The interception came late, just trying to make a play. Can't really blame him for that one, in my opinion. And then, some fumbles that really derailed things, but they weren't his fault either. So, we kind of went into this game saying for Jayden Daniels to win, they were going to have to make up for a lot of mismatches elsewhere. In this situation, there were just too many mismatches elsewhere that even with a perfect Daniels performance, they weren't going to win. He did some nice things, but ultimately not enough here in this one. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.